Hey everybody, Billy Obenauer here, welcoming you to another episode of Brightspace with Billy. In this episode, we're going to look at updating your notifications in Brightspace. And what inspired this episode for me was I was getting a lot of emails from students asking questions about things that I'd covered in announcements. And I was a little bit confused because I initially had always thought that if I put something in announcements that it went into students' emails. But apparently that wasn't the case, right? Because not everybody's getting all the information that I've provided in my announcements. So as I started digging into this, I figured out that some students probably have different settings set up for their notifications, and that it was probably a pretty good idea to show people how to change your notification settings because it's not really that intuitive in Brightspace. All right, so let's get started. We're going to show you how to update your notification settings in Brightspace so that you can get all the right information, all the information you need, and get it sent to the email where you want to read it. So this is the landing page for my course here. Okay, and right now I'm in impersonating mode, which basically means that I'm not positioned like an instructor in Brightspace, I'm positioned like a student. Okay, so if we want to change the notification settings for this student, we would just go up to the top here where it says Preview Learner Impersonating in the top right, and I'm going to click on that there, and you see I've got a bunch of different settings that I can look at. I can look at Profile, Portfolio, Notifications, and Account Settings. So we're going to go to Notifications here. All right, and now you see it tells us it's going to send our notifications, in this case, to my email address, william.obenauer@maine.edu, and I can change my email settings here if I wanted to. So I could use a custom email, I could change it to be my Gmail, or I could use my main email, or whatever email I want to use, but I can change that email there. Okay, I could also go ahead and I could put in a cell phone number. So if I want to get text messages, I could put in I just have to select my country if I'm in the US or Canada, select my carrier. So for me that would be T-Mobile, and then I would just have to go down here and put in my number, and I could save that. I'm going to cancel though because I don't want to put my cell phone number in here right now. Now there's a few other settings that I can look at. I can get a summary of activity for each of my courses, and this is a great idea to get this if you want to get this. You could either go daily or weekly. So if you went weekly, you could choose your day and select to say get this on Monday mornings at 7 o'clock, so that every Monday before you're up and started, you get a notification setting that tells you, a notification that tells you what's going on for all your courses, kind of in one spot for everything. All right. The other thing that you can do is you can set up instant notifications. And I definitely recommend that you have instant notifications set up for a few things. So for one, you want to have instant notifications for announcements. All right, so I would set that up for email, and you could set that up for SMS if you activated a cell phone there. All right, and you want to do both new announcements available and announcement updated, because in a lot of courses your instructor is going to communicate to you through announcements, and by setting this up as an email update, it makes sure that you get that information in real time. Okay, a lot of students tend to set this up for feedback. I wouldn't worry about feedback as much as I would worry about reminders for when things are due. So you have assignments where the due dates or the end date is 2 days away. I would check that. And then I would also go down to quizzes. All right, and quizzes will tell you when they're 2 days away for the due date or the end date, and I would check that. All right, the rest of these are probably not all that urgent to get emails on, because you can go in and check your grades whenever you want. If you want an update, you could go in and you could check things like a grade item released, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. Okay, in particular, the challenge with checking grade item released that I've noticed is that students will see a grade before they see the feedback. So I always think you're better off to go into the assignments themselves when the feedback is updated. So you could go into something like this, assignment feedback updated. But again, probably not urgent. The most important things that you want to have your settings on for are your announcements, which are up here, when your assignments are due, and when your quizzes are due. Okay, there's also some areas down here for custom notifications and excluding courses, but those aren't really all that critical, so I'm not going to focus on them right now. Okay, obviously you can hear one of my birds screaming in the background there probably. Harley's a little bit excited right now. I apologize to you about that. Okay, but I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon.